Good morning, Race. How's all of the beautiful people from this world inside of the world doing? KJ's been up for a while now. I went to bed early last night and I got up early this morning. I had time to really reflect and think about what I was going to come to you about this week. It's going to be, probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This week, we are going to focus in on Donna Adelson's emails to Wendy. Now, some of you have already read those, and some of you are way ahead of OKJ. Let me just be clear. Here on YouTube and other social media platforms, this case has culminated over 10 years, okay? They arrested the hitmen. They arrested Charlie Adelson's girlfriend. They convicted them. Charlie Adelson just got convicted, his trial. So some of you understand a little bit more than I do. The reason that I bring you this is because Donna Adelson was a mother and she was a grandmother. And I posted on the community wall this whole little clip here of Donna on the Wheel of Fortune, and she considers herself a domestic coordinator. She doesn't want to say I'm a homemaker or I'm a housewife that take care of my children. She wanted to be called a domestic coordinator, which to me, maybe I'm wrong, implies that she wanted to have more status. That, she wanted it to sound like she had more to do in her life, that she was more important than she was. Well, as I sat here this morning, smoking my cigs and drinking my coffee, I got to thinking about my life as a mother. I'm not a grandmother yet, as many of you know, but I've raised 3 sons. I've got one that's 25, 31, and one that's almost fixing to be 33. And I thought about their upbringing and what I might have been thinking. I can look back and really, really think about that and wonder what it was that I had expectations for them. And really, as crazy as it seems, I don't think that I ever thought, well, I want my children to grow up and go to Harvard, and I want them to grow up to make boodles and oodles of money. What my main concern is that they have peace of mind, some kind of centerpiece inside of them. And obviously, as many of y'all know, KJ has my own belief system. I asked God to help that happen. And I left it in God's hands. I did the best I knew how. I taught them the best I knew how. And I never had any major expectations other than to say I wanted them to follow the laws. I wanted them to be able to eventually, as they grew up, be able to take care of themselves. As far as a career, I just hoped that they would find their way. I mean, I know that sounds like, I should have been more disciplined with them, or maybe I should have led them down a career pathway. Folks, in this case of Donna Adelson, she raised Charlie and Wendy as a domestic coordinator that she was. She wanted certain things for them. She wanted them to be elite. She wanted them to be humanitarians. And most importantly, she wanted to be proud of those accomplishments. She wanted people to say, look at Donna Adelson's children. They've grown up to be such good, upstanding citizens. And Donna Adelson, I am positive, would let everyone know that Wendy had gone to law school and became an attorney, and Charlie, her son, is taken after old Dad Harvey. He's a dentist. He is a periodontist. And she was probably very, very prideful and happy of her children. And there's nothing wrong. And I've done it. When my children have done something, and I'll tell you right now, all my children have at least stayed out of jail or prison, okay? That's at least what I can say. My children have not done anything to break the laws or anything like that, other than to say maybe a few speeding tickets or something like that over the years. I think we can all say that at some point or another we've had brushes with law, but I just honestly have not ever looked at it like, well, my sons need to go into this career because, they're going to make lots of money and people are going to respect them. Folks, you can be a poor person and have respect. The ones that aren't going to respect someone who's just your everyday Joe or Jane that goes out here and works 40 hours a week or takes on extra hours or works 2 jobs or 3 jobs and are barely making the bills. The only people that don't want to respect them are the ones that are in a different class, that think that they're better than those people that make less money to them. Y'all, we live in a world where, unless you are famous or make a lot of money or something like that, people, they don't want to show that respect. And to top it all off, because there is this world inside of a world, and it's been going on since the invention of the radio, people have been warped. Okay, Jay, I've figured it out, but over time, you start to believe that success is measured through what you're seeing on media. That if a person isn't driving a fancy car and have a great big house and, is just beautiful and sexy and wearing the Gucci and all this and that, why even care what that person has to say? You want to home in on people, or I want to home in on people. Either way it goes, that are living a life that, KJ knows I'll never get to live. It's almost like being able to feel the sensations of other people riding around on a boat or a yacht or whatever. And KJ's got an old pontoon boat. I did get me a car after since 2014. I drove the same vehicle for 10 damn years. I got me a nice car, and for what? I've shared the fact that I've had a boat or a car with all of you because, folks, I'm going to die one day. And if I want to show everyone something and make a comedy out of it, I'm going to do that. But what is that teaching me? What is that teaching me? That Donna Adelson was a domestic coordinator for her children. Number one, it tells me, and I could be wrong, y'all, but this is what I see, that she wanted to be something that people respected and thought she was so great, and she also wanted to find a way to involve herself in her adult children's lives to make sure they were successful, because ultimately, y'all, everything in these emails point that Donna did not have faith that Wendy could handle her own divorce and custody battle. And she not only did not have faith that her daughter as an adult could handle her shit, but Donna also wanted to make sure, because she didn't have faith in her daughter, that I'm going to let you know this, Wendy. I'm going to let you know it because ultimately the goal is to win. Well, folks, here's the bottom line on winning in this world. If you wake up every damn day and you're able to function in any way, and there are a lot of people that wake up every day inside of a hospital bed or whatever, the bottom line is that is success. And people can make it just as complicated as they want to make it. Donna Adelson sure as hell did. She wanted to make sure that Charlie and Wendy were the fruits of all her domestic coordinating abilities. And you know what? Everybody has a right to parent their children the way they want to parent them. And 9 times out of 10, you don't have some damn asshole like Charlie Adelson going out here to hire a hitman to get rid of his mommy's problem and his sister's problem. Things like that happen whether the parent was doing a great job or not. So I'm not saying because Donna Adelson took parenting the way she did that this was the result of her parenting. What I am saying is, through arrogance and hubris and this desire to be better than other people, to see her children become successful wasn't about them making their way through life. It was about making Donna feel good about her being the mother that raised them. I mean, I see that. I see that in her emails. You know, there has been times that I've thought about what I could have done differently in my life as a mother. And I also know that I made plenty of mistakes raising my 3 sons. And I've beat myself up left and right over my eldest son, who has got serious issues. Y'all, he's homeless. And there's nothing I can do about it. He'll be 33 in October. There's nothing. He's a very bright, smart young man. I always tried to let my boys know they were the best boys in the world. I said that to them ever since they could even think of what Mama was saying to them. Should I have been more structured with my eldest son? Should I have done this or that? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. The bottom line is that I know in my heart of hearts that I had faith, and still do, that all 3 of my sons are doing the best they know how to do, making mistakes along the way, just like me, you, and everybody else. You know, I'm not going to beat myself up anymore over the unhealthiness that my eldest son is living right now. It's unhealthy, and there's nothing I could do about it. Donna Adelson, she wanted to get in the middle of her daughter's custody situation because she felt like she knew the answers, that Wendy wasn't going to be tough enough, strong enough. Well, why is that? Why wasn't Wendy tough enough or strong enough in the eyes of Donna Adelson? But she would have to say, I must have done something along the lines or along the way that made Wendy that way. Maybe I spoiled her too much. Folks, let me tell you something. OKJ could never spoil my sons. We didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, but I'll tell you what we did have. We had a family unit that loved one another, and we made the best of it, whether it was scraping money together to put in the gas tank, the fact that I even had a car to run down to the creek and play in the creek, or, you know, do the free things like go to the park and stuff. We didn't go to Disney World. We didn't get to do all these things. My sons, at one point or another through their upbringing, had to be left out of certain things because there wasn't enough field trip money or whatever. But they're alive and well today, and I know in my heart of hearts, that they love their relationship with Jesus Christ. That is what I have, wanted to instill in them, and I believe it's true. Even people that have a strong relationship with Jesus doesn't mean they're going to always make the right decisions or live the right way. Donna Adelson is sitting in a jail cell right now, and she's waiting to go to trial, and the state of Florida there in Tallahassee have not extended any plea agreements for her to even look over. They want to take this all the way. And make no mistake, y'all, Donna Adelson does not think she's done anything wrong. She doesn't think she's done anything wrong, because even though in the back of her mind she knows the truth, that her and Charlie, and I am assuming that her husband Harvey and Wendy knew something, but let's just stick with what the state of Florida is saying. They're saying Charlie and Donna conspired like this. Charlie Adelson solicited Catherine McManawal to get the 2 fellas there, Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera, to carry this out. She knows, but I guarantee you, because of her hubris and her arrogance, she thinks that this world is a better place now that Wendy's got her kids and doesn't have to be stuck in Tallahassee anymore. It's rather interesting, and I challenge you to put in the YouTube search engine there, Charlie Adelson's jail calls. Put that in there and start listening to them where he's talking to his mother. Not one time does he say, I can't believe I've been convicted. I didn't do anything wrong. All they're doing is going over the fact that they paid all this money to get out of it, and it didn't happen. And she's got the hubris and arrogance now to think she could use the same attorney that Charlie Adelson used, a Dan Rashbaum, because she thinks he's so good and knows the case. Well, he didn't know it good enough to get Charlie Adelson off because the evidence was overwhelming. Donna Adelson absolutely has the hubris and arrogance to believe that somehow, some way she's going to get out of this. If she really was innocent, why in the world would you get a one-way ticket to Vietnam with her husband and have all of their affairs in order and say the things she said on the wire or through jail phone calls with Charlie? If she was so innocent, why would she have to run or go anywhere? Why would she even consider suicide? Donna Adelson and Wendy Adelson and Harvey Adelson have to live with the fact that their family member, Charlie there, is going to be in prison the rest of his life. And even Donna said it on one of the jail calls. She said it was like he was dead. He can't go, he'll never be free again. And here she is, fixing to be on trial. Her domestic coordinating, did it have anything to do with how Charlie ended up, how Wendy ended up, or how Harvey sees his own wife? What I can say is this: we can have expectations for our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, but the bottom line is that, something makes a person, whether they have great parenting or not, do what they do. I know several people that grew up in very abusive, non-caring homes that have ended up coming out here and being law-abiding citizens, being able to take care of their bills. They're not rich or anything like that, but I'm sure you could look up plenty of famous people that had shitty upbringings. Wendy and Charlie had everything in the world going for them, but at the same time, there were expectations there from Donna and Harvey, specifically Donna, because she was laser focused on every move her children made. And there's nothing wrong with parental guidance. There's nothing wrong with wanting to guide your child. But when I get into this subject this week of the emails, it might sound like a little bit of a vent session, y'all, when Donna is speaking with Wendy. It's almost like Donna needs to explain to Wendy how to wipe her own ass. How does that make an adult person feel? My mother never, ever told me anything that made me feel like that she didn't have faith that I'd figure it out. There were even times that I thought, well, shoot, she ain't saying much of anything. She must not care. But that was just my negativity and my depression and the things that I was going through that made me think my mother didn't care. My mother always cared. She cared enough to put the structure there that kept me from doing illegality, keeping me safe, doing her best to help me to know that she saw me out of all those 6 kids, that we were all individuals, that we were the only us that we were ever going to be. So, I can say that now, going through it. I might have had times where, you know what I'm talking about. Something goes wrong in teenage years into a young adult life where if things didn't go KJ's way, I had to lash out one way or the other. And it was all about, well, if I'd only had a better childhood, if I'd only had, more money growing up, if I could have, had these things. I think my mother knew that there were people around me that were my peers, young people like me, that had it better than me. But the one thing she gave me, and this is just my view, that supersedes everything, is that she taught me about my relationship with Jesus Christ. I had a decision to make, and she didn't push me into it. I was young. I was 12 years old when I accepted Jesus into my heart. And when I became an adult, I went back and I thought about it with laser focused on, okay, this is what you were brought up to believe. Can you still embrace this? Or are you going to go in a different direction? Just felt right for me. People say Donna Adelson said religion brainwashes people. Well, I'll tell you what, where did Donna Adelson get this idea that she had to be this domestic coordinator to make sure that her son and daughter were outstanding citizens, making all this money and stuff? Somebody over time, and I would say, y'all, it's media. Media wants us to, they have warped us into saying, this is what is successful. This is what is beautiful. This is what's fun. This is what's this and that and this and that. Wouldn't it be interesting if you didn't have media there to do that and you developed your own ideas of what success is? I'm sure some of y'all are strong enough to look past and to stand back from what media has just constantly, through commercials and the way that people look and all this and that, to say, you know what, I'm going to stick with what why do I like this? Or why do I think that success is like this? And really search myself and say, okay, where did you get the idea that this is what is beautiful? Where did I get the idea that this is what is considered successful? Where did I get the idea that this is something that is sexually arousing, or this is, bad, or whatever? We all know there is a line there, and it's called legality. You step over the line of legality and you break the laws. That is common sense. That is something that is the reason that I really seek justice through understanding. Because I know that whether I agree with the laws or not, you got to look at them, and you can't have ignorance of the law. If you don't know the laws on the books and you break it, you're still going to get busted. So, Donna Adelson, absolutely. She did. She wanted what was best for her children. But what is best for a child is to allow that child, give them some discipline, whatever that means to you. Give them some structure. Let them know you love them. And then allow them to develop and not lead them down this road of expectation where they've got to be this great humanitarian or anything like that. Let them be the one, a great humanitarian. A great successful person finds their way for themselves. They're not pushed. They're not prodded. They're not told, hey, you got to do it this way. And you know what that translates to when a parent tells a child, you got to do it like this? And it's specific. I am a domestic coordinator. I'm telling you, this is the way to go. What about the child thinking, don't you have faith that I can figure that out on my own? Don't get me wrong, y'all. It is good for a parent to guide their child. And a parent knows their child's personality better than anyone else. But the question really is how does that personality develop? It's through the people around them as they grow from a little baby into a toddler, into a child. You know what I'm saying? Their environment, everything that's around them. And Donna Adelson made sure that her children only played with children that she thought was worthy of her children's playtime. When she wanted her children to play with another child, she picked the playmate, knowing that the playmate's parents were going to see her as this, this highfalutin woman, and vice versa. There's nothing wrong with keeping an eye on your children's friends, but is there something wrong with a child who's on the other side of the tracks that can't help where they come from? They might have a lot that they could teach Donna Adelson's children, and not all of it's bad. I am sick and tired of people saying because children are in poverty and their parents don't give a shit, that those children are going to lead a family that's like the Brady Bunch. They're going to lead their child into some bad habit or behavior. Because I've seen it on both sides. And children are innocent to a point until they have come to an age of accountability. What would it have been like if Donna Adelson would have just been a homemaker and a mother and not been a domestic coordinator? Because that's what she was. And if you really understand that, you understand that these emails are a perfect demonstration of how she herself, her motivation for teaching her children or guiding her children was only for her own benefit, so that she could be looked at as this fabulous mother. Not even taking into consideration that sometimes these expectations can't be met. A child can be born and the parent wants them to be, number one in their high school graduation class. What if they're just an average person? And this mother is telling them, you've got to make straight A's all the time. We'll buy the greatest tutors and everything. They're still people. They're just incapable. They got all the common sense in the world. They're good to other people. They're loving. They're creative. They're caring. They've got an imagination. They do all kinds of wonderful things. But it's all about being number one in the class. And when that expectation is not met, and that child feels like they're a failure because they can't do everything that mommy tells them or daddy tells them, that hurts. That's awful. There's nothing wrong with wanting your child to make good grades in school, folks. But it's how it's just how this world has ended up becoming, where if you're not making a lot of money and if you're not on the college website as one of the top people in that field, and if you're not traveling around the country speaking and doing things and showing everybody that you are a humanitarian and stuff, that other people's children that don't take that route are less than them. Folks, not everybody has a fancy upbringing. Not everyone does. But I guarantee you, some of the most loving, moral, caring, giving people are the ones that are just living paycheck to paycheck or having to live on a fixed income. And these people out here that are making all this money, I'm not trying to demonize rich people. They have just as much rights in this country as anyone else, and they also have more advantages. And let me just be clear with you. Okay, Jay never, ever wanted to be a millionaire, gazillionaire, whatever. Because I know for me and my personality, it would ruin me. It would ruin anything good in me to have that money. It just would. And Donna Adelson, she just grew up the way she did. Harvey Adelson, he grew up the way he did. Maybe it's normal for them. But who showed the world through media that there are different classes of people? I mean, all the way back, even before media. You had the serfs that lived outside of the castle, right? They're the ones that worked the fields and all that, and then their fruits of what their hard work brought in to the inside the wall, there were other people that, were higher class that would take that and they would take it in there and give some of it to the king and queen who sat in the throne room. Just the way it is. I mean, folks, you look at, the animal kingdom. There's a pecking order, right? And Donna Adelson felt like she was an alpha. She thought she had raised her children and they were going to have these successful careers. And when she got those children, those grandchildren, and y'all know how much I want a grandchild, she wanted to continue to be a domestic coordinator for her adult children. Not even thinking about the fact that those children will never be the same without their father. It was just too much for her. She just wanted to make sure that she got her way. And that she knew what was best for Wendy. And so I'm gonna be releasing vids on Wednesday and Friday on these emails. I'll probably get a little left and right and up and down. I probably will go off the deep end. Oh well, that's okay, Jay. But I'll tell you one thing, it's been a lot of reflection, thinking, and understanding that everyone's different. Everyone has the right to be who they are. But when you see something, I mean, like I said, if you see someone steal a candy bar in the store, is it judging them to call them a thief? Because when they get arrested for stealing, right, that's when they get judged with manslaughter. So, anyway, maybe I'm a little scatterbrained this morning because I haven't had enough coffee, but I'll tell you this. I love you all. Be looking for these vids. I'm going to release one today on the first email. There's 3 emails. And we'll continue to talk about it. Be sure to look on YouTube and other platforms for information on this case that will help kind of fill in the blanks for when we absolutely go through this trial of Donna Adelson. Donna Sue, right? The domestic coordinator. Well, I'll tell you what, y'all. I love you and keep on looking.